Hello and welcome. What the fuck? We'll just restart that. Blip, 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 blip. Here we go. Hello and welcome to Three's a Crime, a true crime podcast. I'm Tori.
I'm Emily.
And I'm Lindsey.
And that's our intro.
Here we are professional podcasters.
We're podcasters, bitches.
Welcome back.
It's another week.
It's
What
another
up, bitch?
week.
Happy holiday.
It always seems like we have like an inception moment because we record it so far ahead that when it comes down, I'm like, when it goes up, I'm like, what the fuck?
I know, I kind of like it though, because even stories that I tell, I'm like...
We forget completely about it.
Like,
I know, it's like a whole new adventure.
Yeah, I make a point to, as soon as I tell my story, I really try to, like, I will go home and watch Elf or something happy and silly, and I try to make it a point to, like, really compartmentalize and, you know, bury these stories somewhere deep where I
So
don't
I half the
reference
time
them.
I text you guys all the funny shit that happens because I'm like, I bet they don't remember that this happened either.
No, I have no clue.
No.
Your
And then she
fucking-
sends us little clips and we all laugh hysterically.
Your fucking message to me that was like, Emily, you're pulling up your pants right now.
I was like, you're probably pulling up your panties.
You're probably editing. Take a break. Go watch Letterkenny.
Yes.
Every time I get up to pee, I'm like, what are they gonna fucking say this time?
It's fun.
You were having to set up all of Oma stuff today.
So I went to my Oma got a new iPhone. Oh my god, she got the new iPhone, and my uncle bought it for her in Seattle, and then sent her over here with the new phone, but kept the old phone. But I needed the old phone to switch the phone number to the new one. So all day today, I was on the phone with a million different... I mean, I wanted to see Oma anyway, so, like, I go to hang out with her, and then she's like, can you put my bills on autopay? And I'm like, yes. So I put all of her bills on autopay. I don't pay her bills, like, with my money. She pays it with her money, but it all comes to my email and everything.
Yeah.
All of her passwords and everything, it's all me. So... So she's like, can you come over and set this up?
That's cute.
Okay, so we had recently had a discussion about research and the type of research that we do. And, you know, sometimes we'll listen to other podcasts, but we, you know, if we do that, we always tell you which podcasts we're referencing, you know, so that you can go and listen to them. And usually we're just trying to bring up a minor point, but we never want to basically steal anybody else's research.
Where I enjoy getting most of my true crime information is from podcasts. Like, it's just how it is. Yeah. So when I think, oh, I want to tell this story, it's most likely because I heard it on a podcast like a year ago. So it's whether we want it to be or not, it's like part of the researching process because
totally,
because we've heard it somewhere before, and usually somewhere
we all listen to podcasts.
I mean, that's
for
why we wanted. That's why we wanted to do a podcast because we liked podcasts. Although I will say that I definitely am not as jazzed when a new true crime story comes out to like immediately watch it, and I haven't. Honestly, I've stopped pretty much listening to other podcasts because it's almost too much because I'm spending so much time researching whatever
it's
story
not so much
I'm
entertainment
working on.
anymore.
Yeah. No, it's
more
not.
of a job.
So
I listen to the Pop Culture Page 7 and then like
Busy
Phillips
I mean true crime
like,
podcasts. I'm not listening to as many true crime.
Yes, because it's your brain needs.
I listened to it on my drive to Portland, even though you guys yelled at me. I specifically was like, I'm going to listen about the
No,
Fucking
she said,
hillside
what should
stranglers.
I listen to? And we said, you know what? Take a break from the true crime, especially when you're driving 6 hours alone through creepy, woody areas. Like where people have dumped bodies, maybe, and you're worried that your car might break down. Maybe don't listen to a true crime story. But
Well,
she
I did.
We were like,
wasn't having
listen
it.
to all these Audible books.
I
Yeah,
know.
we gave her great stuff.
I even paid for an audiobook and I didn't listen to it once.
So,
This girl.
right.
So, a couple things. One,
Oh, yes.
remember that podcast that we told you we were going to start? I didn't actually give a date, but the date in my head. I had scheduled to have this podcast started by October 1st, and we had recorded, I think, I want to say
3.
I think now we've recorded like 5. Basically, it's all hard drive stuff, but I had the wrong hard drive. We bought the new one, and it's working. And anyway, the old one crashed because Pebbles knocked it over. And so I had to send it into the company, and I'm waiting for it to be restored. So, worst possible case scenario, we have to re-record them, which is okay. He still has all the notes. And since it's just the 2 of us, it's a lot
least you won't have
easier.
to-
We're trying to restore all those episodes. I'm aiming for January 1st. It depends on when they send it back to me, but that's what I'm
That's
waiting
true.
on. So, this is the case of Tara Leigh Calico. So, here's my disclaimer. I wrote 2 stories, and this is the one I wrote first, so I don't really remember all the details. You know how, like, we're all procrastinators and you write
Yeah.
it the night before and you go over it and it's all kind of in your brain? Haven't read this for, like, 2 weeks, so we're just gonna...
We're recording this on a random Friday night.
It's a Friday night.
My mom just adopted 2 cats.
Yeah, Mom just stopped 2 cats.
She
It's 7:30. We
was
haven't
going
even
in
started.
for 1.
Mostly
My-
2.
My dog ate her crate today.
I was setting up Oma's bill pays all
Yeah.
day.
Yeah, so we all had some days.
It didn't eat until I got here,
Yeah.
so, you know, it's...
Thanks, Pizza Rita.
Thanks,
Thank you,
pizza.
Pizza.
Okay, so Tara Leigh Calico. So Tara Calico was born February 28th, 1969, and she was a sophomore and an honor student at the University of New Mexico.
New Mexico.
New Mexico. However, on the morning, I don't know why I said however, that doesn't fit here. On the morning of Tuesday, September 20th, 1988, 19-year-old Tara Calico left her home in Belen, New Mexico at around 9:30 a.m. to go on her daily bike ride and was never seen again.
Dun, dun, dun.
Okay, so she was going on her morning bike ride, but she never came home. So she would take this ride every day, and every day she would go along the same route. 36 miles.
What?
Girlfriend rode on a bicycle. What
In
the
the
fuck?
morning?
Every day. Every day.
Wow.
36 miles.
It's too much help.
That-
It took 4 hours.
What time
Does
do
she
you
not
get up
have-
to do that to go to work?
Well, she
Yeah.
was doing it at 9:30. 36 miles along New Mexico State Road 47, and this ride usually took about 4 hours. That morning, she had just finished laying her school books and her tennis outfit on the bed. She had a match planned with her boyfriend at 12:30 and then a class at 3:30 that day.
Oh, okay.
She was a very organized person, unlike me. So she asked her mother, Patty, to come pick her up if she wasn't home by noon because she didn't want to be late for the tennis match with her boyfriend at 12:30. Typically, her mother, Patty, would accompany her on her morning bike rides, so they both knew the route super well. They did it every morning. It was like their thing. Mother and daughter go on a fucking 4-hour, 36-mile bike ride. I don't love either of you enough to go do that.
No.
Emily, you want to go on a bike ride? I do not. Like, oh my God.
Wild.
However, Patty had recently stopped riding with Tara after she got some major creepy vibes from a motorist that she felt was following them. She tried to convince Tara to also stop, but Tara was, I mean, she was an adult. She's like, Mom,
Yeah.
don't fucking be lame.
Don't tell
Okay,
me
I
what
want to
to
ride
do.
36 miles for 4 hours every morning, and you can't tell me
Yeah,
not
don't
to do
page
that.
me in,
Yeah.
Mom.
So Mom was like, okay, can you like at least carry mace or like something here? But Tara was like, you're being really dramatic. No, I'm not gonna do that. And her mom was like, for fuck's sake.
Well, this is the 80s. Did you say 88?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 80s. Her mom was like, okay, then like at least to just be aware of your surroundings, watch out for any creepy behavior, just be careful. She's like, okay. Today, Tara was taking her mom's bike because hers had a flat tire. She rode away from the house on her mom's neon pink Huffy bike with yellow cables and yellow sidewalls.
I'm so jealous.
I know, like, so cool, right?
I loved my Huffy. Mine was like baby blue.
So cute. I was like pink and yellow. What a Lindsey bike.
Yeah.
So she was on her mom's bike on her usual route, Highway 47. She also took her bright yellow Sony Walkman with the cassette tape of Boston.
Wow. That's fucking 4 hours of Boston.
Like,
riding your fucking
I
bike.
don't think I could do 4 hours of Boston.
Oh my god.
According to the FBI website, I should just tell you now. This is unsolved. Sorry, bros.
I assumed with you.
Sorry. Look at me. You have something right here. Nope, not with your tongue. Get it with your finger. It's not food. I'm like, no, don't use your tongue. It's not food. I'm glad that was caught. Oh my god. According to the FBI website, she was wearing a white t-shirt that said
Boston forever. That's what it should say.
Boston forever.
Boston forever.
The First National Bank of Belen on it. White shorts with green stripes, white ankle socks, and a white and turquoise Avia tennis shoes.
Oh, fucking Avia dog.
Is that what how you say it? Avia? Okay. Mm-hmm. She was also wearing a gold butterfly ring with a diamond insert, a gold amethyst ring, and 1/2-inch gold hoop earrings.
This bitch was fucking...
She was ready to go.
She was like decked out for her bike ride.
She was fucking going, man. She was last seen at 11:45 a.m. along the normal route of New Mexico State Road 47. When Tara didn't return home by 12, Patty and Tara's stepfather John left to go find her. And she went the same route, so they were like, let's just go along the route. They did like one pass, couldn't see her. Came back, couldn't see her. Didn't see anything, didn't see a bike, didn't see anything. They did this like 3 times. They're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
She's nowhere to be seen. And now at this point, panic is like really starting to set in for Patty. Patty's holy shit, she would never miss anything. Yeah. She laid out her clothes like she was ready to go. This wasn't like she ran away or anything. You know, she's going through all these thoughts in her brain. Yeah. And just starting to panic. And knowing Tara, she was so type A and so constantly working from a schedule that the only possible scenario for where she could be was not a good one. Her mother started calling hospitals around the area thinking maybe she was hurt. Or if there was an accident, someone maybe took her to the hospital. Nothing. Immediately. Okay, so immediately, Patty and John called the Valencia County Sheriff's Department and filed a missing persons report. Within 5 hours of her being reported missing, the missing person status was entered into the missing persons database with a note saying that foul play was something they were already considering, and an extensive search had begun with police and volunteers.
Dang. Was she white? Okay.
She was. Okay, Patty and John had also joined the search themselves. They had people on the ground, people on horseback, and people in helicopters searching for her. They came up with nothing.
Horses and
yeah, like what the fuck? They're like, go get the fucking horses.
Get them
all the king's horses and all the king's men. So they couldn't find anything until searchers came across her Boston cassette tape on the shoulder of the road.
No.
Only about 3 miles from her home.
Oh, so she was like
on her way back,
close to home.
Probably.
Patty immediately recognized it as Tara's tape. She must have really loved it. I don't even know who that is or like what kind of music they had.
Tori will find you.
Okay.
Song, I think. Oh my God. That's right. Yep. God, I wonder if it was just this song.
On repeat.
On repeat? Can you even put it on repeat in the 80s?
No. Well, maybe, no. Okay. I roll my eyes. I drift away.
I know, I was hoping it would get to like the chorus.
That's my favorite part.
Drift away. Alright. Anyway. was literally right before.
All right.
Moment of feeling. I don't know the words. Patty immediately recognized it as Tara's tape, and about 19 miles east of that, a broken piece of her yellow Sony Walkman was found.
The person, I'm assuming it's a he, but
I always assume it's a
destroyed the
he.
sweet Walkman.
I know, what a cool Walkman.
Yeah.
Bright yellow.
Are you old enough to remember Walkmans?
Yeah, I had,
Did you have your disc one?
I even remember tapes, believe it or not. My parents listened to cassette tapes. I remember I would steal their Steely Dan.
My parents used to steal... fucking Steely
Steely Dan. I remember cassette tapes, and I had a CD player Walkman that, like, when we used to go camping, I remember. And if you had, like, the no skip one.
Yes.
But then, like, that was bullshit, and they all skipped anyway.
Yes.
Mine even locked on the sides like a fucking military grade, like, CD player.
That was, like, I always had the best CD Walkman and best shoes, because that's what my dad bought.
That's awesome. Okay, so they found the tape 3 miles from the home, but they found the piece of the Walkman 19 miles east of that.
Oh,
Well, that's
probably just throwing it out the window is what I was.
While they were collecting the items, they noticed bicycle tires. They noticed bicycle tire tracks is what I meant to put. The tracks appeared as though someone on a bike had kind of been, like, run off the road. Or some type of, like, physical altercation happened there. There was definitely, like,
I feel like I saw this on an Unsolved Mysteries or
This
something.
is, like, a really well-known one.
Yeah.
Like, it's pretty...
I didn't know the name, but this story sounds very familiar.
Yeah. Oh, there were also car tire marks nearby, making them think that she was tipped off the road with a vehicle.
You're so vulnerable. On the side of the road, on a bike.
On a bicycle.
Because if you're
by yourself,
standing, it's a little kind of
oh yeah,
easy
I mean,
to run,
someone,
but like, fuck, man.
Or you don't expect a car is gonna come up and like bump you.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Share the road.
My mom, that happened to my mom once on a motorcycle, and she got a fucking compound fracture in her leg.
Oh no.
Yeah, she was like next to a car, and they like merged into her like fucking idiots, and her fucking shin bone was sticking out of her leg.
No.
Yeah, my mom has really cool stories from when she was a kid. Oma told me once that my mom was in another motorcycle accident. My mom she had horses and rode motorcycles growing up.
Horses.
And one time she was in an accident that cut her head, and you know how head wounds bleed like no other.
They're the worst.
Apparently, Oma had a sliding door, and my mom was like 11 years old and like walked up to the door, and there was just blood all down her face. And Oma was like, "What the fuck is happening?" She was fine.
This makes so much makes sense where you came from now.
I know. So Patty originally thought her daughter had left these items intentionally to help investigators find her. She was known to be extremely intelligent, and it was not out of the realm of possibilities that she would do something like that if she had been kidnapped. Now that I know this, now that we're so into true crime, like, obviously anything you can do to lead investigators is always leave a sock, leave a fucking ring,
anything
leave
you can,
a hair tie,
and scratch the fuck
I was gonna say,
get that skin
DNA
way under your nails, girl.
So far under your nails. Bite them.
Yeah.
Take some hair.
Take them in the nards.
Yeah.
I like to think I'd go down fighting pretty hard. I think I would. Especially if I knew I was going to die. I would just be like, I'm going to make your life a living hell while I'm here.
Yeah, I think at this point, after doing this, if I am ever kidnapped, I'm just going to assume that they're going to kill me. And so, yeah.
You know what would happen if I was kidnapped? They would pay you money to take me back.
They really would. They would
really
be like, oh, fuck. We did not know what we were
Yeah, they were
getting
like,
into.
we changed our minds back. Abort mission.
She had the charisma of a cult leader.
Yeah,
that's what I would say about Emily.
They'd be like, we should stop searching for her. What the fuck is that?
Like,
she's probably not missing. She's probably building her
Probably
army.
building an empire somewhere in a field.
She's moved far away.
So investigators start talking to people in the area as witnesses start coming forward who say they had seen her on her bike on Route 7. 7 witnesses saw her that day, and 5 of them said they saw something a little strange. The 5 witnesses said they saw an older, light-colored truck with a camper shell following her on her route, possibly a Ford. Oh, no. At this point, Droves of people in the community came to help search, and hundreds of people searched for 9 months.
Holy
Wow.
tits,
With
man.
not a single thing, except the piece of her Walkman and that tape. Now, this is probably where Tori is going to remember the story. Because something weird happens. On July 15th, 1989, Tara's stepfather John receives a phone call from a family friend who said they had something a little weird to tell him. They told him they were watching a TV show called A Current Affair, which Maury Povich was the host of at the time.
They're fucking rad, man.
And the episode they just saw contained a Polaroid photo that immediately concerned him, and he knew he had to call him right away. The Polaroid photo in question was found in Port St. Joe, Florida. A woman was walking into the store and noticed a man sitting in a white van. She went into the store, did her thing, and then when she left the store, she saw that the van had left, but in the spot where the van was, she saw something on the ground. And so she walked over, picked it up, and the photo will be on our Instagram, and I'm going to show it to you guys. But
So this photo was on the ground.
on the ground.
What's that book?
Okay.
Who's the little kid?
I'm going to tell you.
I remember this now. From that.
So, just to describe it to listeners, it's a young woman and a young boy on a bed-ish type thing, seemingly bound with tape across their mouths. It's not scary, there's not any blood, but it's really fucking creepy.
And it
And
is
it's like a
definitely
camper
in
thing.
A van.
Yeah, it's definitely because like
Van.
it's the white van with the white
Oh,
the
I see
windows
now,
white
yeah.
whited
Yeah.
out.
You can definitely tell that it's an inside of like a cargo van or
Yeah.
some type of thing like
Yeah.
that, older
With
car.
bedding and pillows.
So
Is that the shirt she was wearing? What does that shirt say?
that's not the shirt she was wearing.
Oh,
The shirt
okay.
she was wearing was white.
Okay, so the V.C. Andrews book, My Sweet Audrina.
So their hands are bound behind them.
But we
The
don't
mouth-
They
know for
appear
sure.
bound behind.
They
Yeah.
appear bound behind them. They have duct tape over their mouths. She looks like she's giving him. She either looks high or like she's giving him a dirty look.
Yeah, like super
Or
There's
she
like-
looks
side-eye.
exhausted.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
like a duffel bag behind them, behind their heads.
So, here's your spoiler. We still to this day have no idea who these two people are.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy? Yeah. So,
Oh, so that's not her?
we don't know. So, I'll tell you.
What is this one?
I'll tell you.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'll stop with
Tori is a real like.
We know better, too. This is why I tell you not to Google it. I'm like, oh, hold on. You guys are both like, oh, I'll Google it.
Well,
Bitch.
that's why I
right, I'm
try
done.
to just
I'm
say
stop.
like I
I'm
don't
done.
want to look at the
I
other
know,
stuff.
I know.
God.
Because then Tori goes, what's
That's
this?
true, and then Tori will say, "So then the person did this, and you're like, God damn it." That's my next sentence.
I'm trying to
Oh
be
my
better.
gosh.
She's
I love
our
you so
psychic
much.
bitch.
I love you so much. We don't know who these people are. Here's the thing. One of the first conspiracy theories is one that it's Tara. Okay, that was like that's why I'm telling you.
Yes.
The friend in question was like, I don't know if that's her, but like it's fucking close enough to where I need to call her parents and like tell them.
Right.
So
Did they think it was Tara?
there are some weird
Yeah.
things here.
Okay.
Don't worry, I'm going to get into it. Okay. One of the other conspiracy theories was that this photo was faked. So if you look at it,
That's what I was wondering.
remember I said they appear bound, but it does not show that their hands are tied. The other argument was like if you were actually tied tightly.
Your chest would be.
Yeah, her hands look like they almost look like she
She's
could be like
sitting
just
on 'em.
just holding her hands.
Yeah.
But if her wrists were bound tightly, like put your wrists together.
Yeah, that's what I'm.
We're not small people like she is, so it's really hard for us. But I just feel
You'd
like her
show the
shoulders would
strain.
be a lot more
Yeah.
backwards,
Right.
And
you know.
she's
But
that book. She's reading a fucking book, man.
so, but if it was staged, was the book staged?
That's true.
It's interesting that
Shit.
it's sitting right next to two bound people
Mhm.
randomly.
Right.
So,
There's a cup too.
Yep, there's
a
cup.
Plastic cup.
so they were like, "Is this Tara? Is this someone else? Is this a faked photo? Like,
Where's-
what the
Why
fuck?"
is there a child?
So the woman who found the picture calls the police and tells them that the man she saw in the van looked to be maybe in his 30s and had a dark mustache. A dark mustache.
You know that anybody that has a mustache, that's not
Okay, but like
Tom
my
Selleck is a
dad in
creeper.
1988, you know, like
My
every
dad
man had a mustache.
Has had a mustache for like fucking my whole life until recently.
I asked my dad to shave his mustache once when I was a kid, and he did, and it made me cry. Because I had never seen him without it, and he looks like this.
My dad didn't have that.
It
but
always
I
alarmed me when my dad would.
Yeah, I
He
would
did it
cry
just
when
to
my dad
fuck
would
with
shave.
me.
Yeah.
The first time I ever met my stepdad, who was bald, I cried because he didn't have any hair. My mom was like, some people prefer that. I'm like, why? The van was a white Toyota cargo van with no windows.
Ugh.
They set up roadblocks trying to find the vehicle, thinking the Polaroid is probably of 2 trafficking victims. Because if you look, they're like the perfect... this girl looks to be like a teenager. Or if she's in her 20s, it's like 20 years old.
Yeah.
And the kid is like...
9,
Yeah.
8, 9.
Which is like the age for sex trafficking.
It's true.
Unfortunately. So they were like, if it's not Tara Calico, is it like somebody else who's being like trafficked? So Port St. Joe, Florida only had a population of 10,000 people at this point. So you'd think they would find something. Nothing. Ever. No, nothing.
I'm wondering if they did this on purpose, because it looks like you just like open the thing, said do something, take a picture, and then I don't know.
It's weird. It's just weird.
It
could
a good
be
way for people, like somebody to fuck with.
Yeah, and people are fucking assholes. So
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
nothing comes of it. A current affair started circulating the photo all over TV to try and see if anybody could recognize these kids. And like I said, the friend who called the family called because he believed that it looked a lot like Tara.
Oh my god, remember Hard Copy? I was just trying to think of all those things in the 80s, 90s. Sorry, go on.
Those shows. It was
Hard
just
Copy was
another
like
one of
the-
those.
But it was like went harder, and it was a little more fucked. That's all. Go on, sorry.
When this photo was circulated, a family who saw the photo believed the little boy resembled their missing son, Michael Henley, who was 9 years old when he disappeared camping with his father in April 1988. A current affair...
Are you gonna
Sorry.
sneeze?
No.
Oh, I'm on Mucinex, guys, and Metamucil. I'm on it all.
My God, we have so many episodes out now. I don't remember which episode that was in, so just go listen to all of them to understand
pretty
that
much,
joke.
To understand that joke.
Don't want to mix those up.
A current affair flew John and Patty and Michael Henley's parents to Florida to meet with detectives. And now, if you guys didn't remember this, she was in New Mexico.
Right.
So the Florida photo it's just weird that it's in Florida. But you know.
Yeah.
They flew Michael Henley's parents and John and Patty to Florida. At this point, the FBI had gotten involved and were working on a full examination of this Polaroid. And Patty was convinced 100% that this photo was Tara. Michael's parents were not so positive, or not as positive that it was him.
Yeah.
Michael was actually found in June 1990, a few miles from the campsite, with the autopsy showing he died of exposure. 9 years old, died of exposure. Yeah, ugh. So Patty said the ear, eyes, and nose are the same on Tara, and her hair had a specific cowlick in the front. And Patty said that Tara had been in a car accident, and she had a scar right where that scar is on her leg.
Interesting.
It's kind of hard to see, but like it's there. So, the other thing that stuck out to Patty was the book sitting next to the girl in the photo. The book is My Sweet Audrina by V.C. Andrews, who also wrote Flowers in the Attic, which Ed Kemper did an audiobook of in prison.
Ew, creepy.
Oh!
I would honestly listen to that.
Oh, I 1,000% would.
He did Flowers in the fucking
He
Attic.
did Flowers in the fucking Attic.
Do you know what that's about?
I know that it's horrible, but I don't actually
the one
know.
Where the grandmother or whatever locks
That's what
the kids
grandmother
in
locks the kids in the attic, and then the brother and sister have a relationship.
Which, like, why were children... Like, why was that a kid's book?
That was not a book at all.
I mean, granted.
There's, like,
but...
more books, too, and then it's... Because it was a Lifetime... They were Lifetime movies, too, and I remember watching them for some reason.
Did you ever read Flowers for Algernon?
No, I don't know what that means.
I read it in elementary school. It was about an autistic kid who becomes friends with, like, a lab rat. And tests are being done on, like, both of them to see if they can cure autism. I think, if I remember correctly.
Well, I mean,
and Algernon was the name of the mouse.
Me going to school, it was just fucking the usual shit like To Kill a Mockingbird.
I read this one like by choice.
Oh, okay.
But
I was like,
yeah, no, I also read freaking. What did you just say?
To Kill a Mockingbird.
To Kill a Mockingbird. Thank
and the one
you.
with the guy named Holden, I can't remember his name.
And The Outsiders.
Yeah.
Oh, I love
yeah,
The
yeah.
Outsider. I actually just watched that the other day.
I have not seen it since
That
6th
movie.
grade.
I
But
haven't
Flowers
either.
for Algernon, I read as a kid. It's a very good book. It's very sad.
It sounds
Yeah.
very sad.
I don't know why I read. I've been a dark kid my whole
I was
life.
gonna say,
Child of darkness.
she's
Oh,
a
that's what
child
this
of darkness.
That's
That's
what
what
this intro is.
And that is what I would also say about you.
Child of
Emily,
darkness.
She was
this
a
fucking
child of
bitch.
darkness.
She was a
I
child
like
of
that.
darkness.
I like that.
She's never
She
seen
did not light up a room.
I didn't. I completely darkened it.
list of movies that she's not seen.
Oh my god, we'll name them on her tombstone. So Ed Kemper did an audiobook of this in prison, which I just thought was a creepy little
Yeah.
tidbit. V.C. Andrews was Tara's favorite author,
Oh no.
but apparently at this time V.C. Andrews was big, so apparently girls everywhere like
yeah.
Yeah.
loved this. So
Yeah.
this is not,
Yeah.
neither here nor there. Allegedly there's a phone number on the spine of the book. But most of the numbers aren't legible. The FBI has deemed the photo inconclusive. And when I read about it, it said like there's like 500,000 possible combinations of what the numbers could be.
I can't see.
I
any
can't see
fucking
them
numbers.
either.
It says my sweet Audrina and then BC.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what numbers they see, but
We need like the technology on Law and Order where it zooms in and then it's crystal clear.
oh my god. The FBI sent the photo to be analyzed elsewhere. One location concluded that the woman in the photo was absolutely Tara Calico.
Wow.
They're like 1,000%. We've studied this photo. We've studied her face. It's fucking her. The other place they sent it was like, we can't say for sure if it's her. Could be, might not be. We really don't know. So the FBI is like, fuck. Like, god damn it. This is so annoying because it could be her or it could be somebody totally different.
Yeah.
The FBI also spoke with Polaroid directly, thinking Tara disappeared a year ago, but the photo was just found. So, like, when was the photo taken?
Mm-hmm.
Polaroid told them that the type of film used was not made until May of 1989, which means this photo was taken at some point after the date that she was taken. Tara went missing in September of 88, which means if the photo is of her, she would have been kept alive for at least 8 months by this point.
And like no marks on her. She's clean looking.
And the other thing,
no bruises or scrapes.
the other thing that people were saying was both of them seem very tan. Like they haven't been like in a basement for 8 months.
Yeah.
And they seem to be fairly like well groomed.
Yeah, that's
Like
what
they don't look like they haven't. I mean, she's like
her hair is messy, but she doesn't look
that's
like
how my
she's
hair looks
not
like
bathed.
5 days a week.
Right.
You know, her and they just look tired. But their clothes look clean. They look like they haven't been holed up in a basement for 8 months. But it's possible, obviously. You could see how the photo could seem totally real or totally fake. It really could go either way.
Yeah.
Patty still believed this photo was definitely her daughter. In 1991, Patty and John trained to become Valencia County Sheriff's deputies.
Holy shit.
So they could be hands-on in the investigation.
That is amazing.
Isn't that so cool?
These fucking parents, man.
Yeah, like 10 out of 10 would recommend.
Yeah.
Because of this, Patty and John would receive crime scene photos of unidentified bodies to see if any of them were Tara. So she would literally, her son said that she would get like packages in the mail of all these photos and she would sit there and look at every single one of them.
No.
Waiting to find if it was Tara, and it was never her.
Oh my god. That fucking anxiety of you flip the next
Oh my god, like
picture
getting
and
a
like,
package in the mail and like
yeah.
the anxiety of flipping each page or like, okay, it wasn't
And,
in
like,
this one, maybe the next one,
well,
but you
and,
also
like,
don't want to see it.
Right, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like the wanting to find it, but
While also
not
not
wanting
wanting
to
to
find
find
never,
it.
Yeah, it's never gonna leave your brain.
I appreciate the fact that they were so invested in finding their daughter, but I'm like, you guys were like, well, that's badass, and I'm over here going,
Oh
is
no,
that
I wouldn't do
healthy?
it.
Like,
It's
is
not.
that a healthy thing to do?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I can see both sides,
yeah,
I guess.
Yeah.
yeah.
And I mean, I hate always being the one who says this, but like we don't have kids. So like I
Right,
don't
it's
know what it's
true.
like to have your kid missing.
It's very true.
It's very, very true.
It will never
I just
mean
think that's so like so intense on finding
1,000%.
that you do that. It's not good, or it's just interesting.
It just
it's not
is,
good or bad, but
yeah.
I'm just like, wow, that's
I don't
a
think
lot.
I could do that. So that's
In 2003, John and Patty moved to Florida. Not only did they want to get away from New Mexico, just because they wanted to start new, but Florida is still where the photo was found. So they thought, again, mom is like, this is her.
Yeah.
We got to go to Florida. They figured the closer, the better when it came to finding Tara. So Patty had many strokes. At one point, she was unable to communicate except through writing.
Oh, God.
Ready for your soul to be ripped out. In her retirement home, she would sit and stare out the window, waiting for Tara to come home.
No.
Every time she saw a young woman on a bike, she would write down Tara's name on a piece of paper, and she would show it to John, and John would have to tell her every time, no, that's not Tara.
Oh, my God, no.
I know. Patty passed away in 2006 from multiple strokes. So after Patty's passing, Tara's sister Michelle kept the case alive, hoping to one day still find Tara. Renee Rivera, a Valencia County sheriff who'd been following the case since 1988, said he doesn't believe the Polaroid is of Tara. And in 2008, he went on record and claimed that he knows what happened to her. And everyone knows who did it.
What?
But he says there's not enough evidence to do anything about it, so...
And nothing else? No, like, hey,
Nope.
And he's not outing the person that he claims.
He said it was definitely two teenage boys following her on her bike and grabbing at her from an open window. Picture someone riding a bicycle down the street and some fucking teenage boy hanging out the car window trying to grab her. Fuck that, okay? So... They said they were grabbing at her from the vehicle. They believe they accidentally hit her bike, panicked, drove off, and killed her. And he said that he also thinks that Tara knew the two boys. He said, quote, "We have a case put together. We want to make sure that this case is a concrete case to where we'll be able to effectively do our jobs. We're just waiting to get a little more evidence. Her bicycle, her clothing, or Tara herself." So Tara's stepfather, John, was not amused by this at all. He was like, why the fuck did you come out here saying, we know who did it, and we know exactly what happened, but we don't have enough evidence to do anything? If that's true, like, why did you even open your fucking mouth? You stupid dumbass. A couple of years later, in 2009, some more photographs appear. One is a blurry photo of a woman with her mouth duct taped. There appears to be a striped blanket or something behind her that looks similar to the one from the original Polaroid. Okay, so the second one is a photo of the woman and the man on a train, and her hands are tied and her mouth is duct taped, but it's believed to be a joke photo.
Yeah, because she's not very...
It just looks like David Barnes, the chief of police in St. Joe, Florida, received one of these photos. The photo was of a young boy. It appears to look similar to like a school photo with a black Sharpie like drawn in place of duct tape.
That's what I was trying to figure out. I was like, is that motherfucking Sharpie?
But the police in St. Joe, Florida, like received it in the mail, which is weird.
Ew.
But that doesn't look like the same little boy.
It doesn't. It's not. It's just saying that's another really weird photo in the same place, in the same city. That same day, the same photo was received by a local newspaper, which is weird. And the same day, a psychic called and said that Tara was buried in California and mentioned something about a blue vehicle. To this day, we still don't know who the boy in that photo is either. October 2013, Tara's case is officially reopened with a task force that included members of Homeland Security, state, and local police.
Jesus.
Dying man Henry Brown requested an interview with Deputy Frank Methola. Brown stated that as a teen, he hung out with some hooligans. One of them was Lawrence Romero Jr., son of the sheriff, Lawrence Romero Sr.
Shocker.
Lawrence Romero Jr. was a troublemaker. He dealt drugs. He just generally wreaked havoc around town. He knew Tara, and some said that he even had a crush on her, even though Tara was dating someone else at the time. So dying guy, Henry Brown, says he was partying with LR Jr. and some other friends in his trailer. Specifically, there was a makeshift basement underneath this trailer. I don't really know. Weird. Suddenly, LR Jr. and his friends start talking about how they hit Tara with their truck, then abducted, raped, and killed her. And they hid her body in the bushes, and when the search intensified, they moved her under a tarp in the makeshift basement and then later to a pond. And I heard in one source, so don't quote me on this, but dying guy Henry Brown, I believe, claimed that the body was, like, in the room when he was in it. I believe they pointed, and they were like, you see that tarp? She's under that.
No.
But he never...
Well, yeah, would you really
physically saw it?
No, yeah. And that's just where I only heard that in one place, so I don't know if that's true. But he said that it took him so long to come forward because they threatened to kill him if he ever came to the police. But now he's on his deathbed, so he's like, I'm just going to fucking tell you everything that happened. Also, a man named Donald Dutcher came forward in late 2013 to say that one of those men also confessed the exact same story to him. Unfortunately, Lawrence Romero Jr. died 20 years before this from a self-inflicted gunshot wound when he was 21 years old. There were rumors that a suicide note was found confessing the murder, but the note was covered up and not entered into evidence by his father, the sheriff. Sheriff Rene Rivera, the one who claimed he knew what happened but couldn't do anything about it yet, was likely not naming names because the main suspect was the son of Sheriff Romero, and he had a connection to covering it up. A bunch of reports started leaking once the task force became involved. During the time the original Polaroid was found in Florida, on June 15th, 1989, witnesses saw an unidentified teenage girl at a beach there, accompanied by multiple older men who appeared to be kind of ordering her around.
Oh, no.
That is just another weird thing that someone saw that was never seen ever again. They never found out who that girl was. Wow, there's a lot of people. There's a lot of, like, loose ends in this. Sorry, I didn't really realize it until I was reading out loud. I'm like, remember that one? They can't find him either.
Remember that
This one?
thing?
We have no idea. In 2019, the FBI put up a $20,000 reward for information in Tara's disappearance, and they also released the age-progressed photo of Tara. After her parents died, Tara's sister Michelle really took the lead in her case and still also believes that that photo is her. Michelle started working with a woman named Melinda Escabel, who is the host of the podcast Vanished, the Tara Calico investigation. So when I first started writing this, I was like, I can't read it this week because I have to listen to like this 37-part podcast on it. And then I realized I'm just going to tell the story. And if you want to go listen to it for all of the fucking details, you can listen to it for all the details. But it's a great podcast. And the girl, Melinda Escabel, was a classmate of hers. And they were in marching band together. And I'll link the podcast below, but you can hear interviews with everybody and all the things that we're too lazy to do. Melinda started the podcast because she returned. This is so crazy. She returned home in 2008 during a holiday break and was spending time with old friends when the subject of Tara Calico came up. Melinda had mentioned how the case was crazy, and she's like, dude, like, what the hell? I wonder if this would ever be solved. And apparently all of her friends looked at her like she was stupid, and they were like, oh, girl, we know who did it. And she was like, what the fuck do you mean? And they're like, oh, everybody knows. We just can't do anything about it. And she's like, what?
Jesus Christ.
And Melinda was like, if everyone knows who did it, but the only thing stopping people is, like, there's got to be something out there. So she was like, that's why she started the podcast. I mean, she's still, like, actively searching for her.
Well, I can't imagine that guy is still sheriff, is he?
I don't know, I guess. I mean, it's recent.
Well, because if she would be almost 50 at this point, like, you would think that dad would be retired, right?
Oh, yeah, I guess.
Saying, like,
I know you just paused for a really long time.
I just watched you.
It was like your brain left your body for a second. It was like you were a shell of a person.
Because I was trying to figure out how to, like...
I know. It just looked funny.
Say it.
I don't know. That's a good point. I don't know.
Snitches get stitches.
Oh
even
my
in the police
God, that was
force.
literally on my screen. That was the name of the episode of the podcast. I was just looking at Snitches Get Stitches.
Oh my God.
How weird is that? Because this is Melinda Escabel's website, the Tara Calico investigation, and I will, Tara Calico. Tara. I will link this below, but it has, like, the case file, has all the photos related to everything. If you have any information about the disappearance of Tara Calico, call the local Albuquerque FBI office at 505-889-1300. That was Tara
It's
Calico.
just a weird. The whole thing is just really.
I mean, the Polaroid photo is like very common in the true crime community. Like most people have seen the photo, even if they don't know what it is.
Yeah.
It's I mean, it's a wild case. Although it seems solved to me.
So, but
Sounds like it.
But if it is solved, then that would indicate that the woman in the photo was not Tara.
Correct.
Do you think that that's her in the photo?
I don't know. The face, the eyebrows to me are too... I would think even if I was exhausted, because I have arched eyebrows, like she's really round eyebrows.
Mm-hmm.
To make your eyebrows like flat like that, I don't know, it's your bone structure. You know what I mean?
That's what.
Like
her eyebrows don't look like her to me.
I feel like the eyes look like her. I feel like the nose looks like her, but I don't think that the eyebrows do, because she has a natural arch in her eyebrow. Like you can't even if you're trying to like,
I can't flatten.
You can't flatten
her
your
face
eyebrows.
is very relaxed.
I was gonna, her face is relaxed. It's
except
just
for the side eye she's given.
And so I just don't feel like...
Because if you zoom in on the tape, you can see her mouth is just
Yeah,
frowning.
she even looks like she's frowning, yeah.
I don't think it's her.
You don't?
No.
I don't think it's her either.
The story with the sheriff's son feels truer
That
to me.
seems right, yeah.
Yeah.
I just don't think that's the same girl.
No.
But I do think, though... I do think that this is a legitimate picture.
Yes.
If nothing else, that little boy looks terrified and sad.
I know, it's awful. So, we fucking love ya.
Yeah.
Hey guys.
We love you enough to meet on a Friday night. Remember who you are and what you represent.
I love you. Good job on you guys for listening to us.
Good job,
We
you guys, for
appreciate
listening to
it.
this. You get a gold star for listening to us.
And hey, thanks for everybody that has sent us pictures that were in their, like, top podcast of 2021.
Don't hit people on their bicycle.
No.
And don't, if this photo is fake, fuck you. Also that. Like, if you fake photos like this, like, you can go fuck yourself. Honestly, that is so fucked up. But if it's a real photo,
That's even worse.
it's even more fucked up. When a photo surfaces and not a single person, I can't imagine a little boy's face pops up and not a single person
is like, oh my god, that's my kid.
Yeah,
or
like,
this kid
how-
is missing. But I mean, a big problem that we've had for many, many years, and I think it still is a little bit of a problem, is jurisdictions.
Yeah,
won't
especially
communicate with each other.
Yeah, and they don't like to work together.
No.
I don't understand it.
I don't either.
I was
Because they
just
get very
talking
possessive.
to my mom the other day
They get very
about this.
possessive about, well, this is my case, that's
Exactly.
your case. Like, and
We
they
even see it in
don't
TV
want-
shows.
Yeah.
Law and Order and Criminal Minds.
Yeah,
and
but
like, we don't
that's
want
what-
the FBI coming in here.
That's
We
what
don't
I
want
brought up. I was like, why are we arguing about...
Like, we're all searching.
This.
That's when I first started in rescue. Your arms look really skinny in a good way, but just like I just noticed how much smaller your forearms look.
Well, that makes me happy.
She's a skinny little tart now. That's what
Yeah,
I'm
she
gonna call
is.
her.
I'm
My
a
skinny little tart. That's what I was gonna say. In rescue, it's the same thing.
Oh,
when
yeah,
I
it is.
first got involved in rescue, and I was like, why does everybody going towards the exact same goal fucking hate each other?
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand how we're supposed to be saving animals or saving children or saving missing people
It gets real
when
cliquey
there's
in
no
rescue.
communication. Like, I don't understand why.
It's just not for the greater good. It's just for their greater...
Get over yourself.
small
Right.
dicks.
Get yourself a pocket pussy. Go fucking fuck off somewhere and like
Yeah.
come back and do your
Come
job
back
and don't be
an
a dick.
adult
Like,
and-
get your fucking, give your balls a tug.
Sorry. Just over here giggling at pocket pussy.
Get yourself a fleshlight.
Yeah, I want to know if everyone thinks that that's a picture of her or not. Go to our
Yeah.
Instagram right now. Right now, I'll wait.
Okay.
You there?
Should be there.
Awesome.
Should be there
Great.
now.
So if you scroll down, you'll see it right in our photos. You'll see it. Just
Yep.
look at it. Do you think it's her? Text me right now. Awesome.
Text you? You're gonna leave your number?
Leave a message right now. Okay, great. Okay.
Okay, bye.
Wow. Okay. Bye.
Love you. Thank you. Bye.
Thanks for listening to this week's episode. We put out new episodes every single Wednesday, and if you're impatient like me, be sure to become a Patreon where you can get your episodes early each week. For as little as $2 a month, you not only significantly support the production of this podcast, but you'll also get extra benefits and perks for being one of our special Patreon weirdlings. Go to patreon.com/threesacrime for more information. For all of our links related to our socials, affiliate codes, where to listen, and everything else, go to linktree/threesacrime.